Hare Krishna. It is a pleasure indeed to be here with all of you. I can see so many exalted educators working in so many parts of the globe, coming together in Sri Mayapur, a very sacred land, which has been a hub and a traditional place for education. So I congratulate the Education Ministry for such an effort. It's not easy. We have run ourselves 15 continental conferences by now, and it's a major endeavor to get everybody here. So thank you all so much for that. I'd like to start with this topic because I feel I've traveled all our farms by now, or most of them, and it's very obvious that there is an urgent need for apprenticeship. We really are lacking that space, and I'll try to show in 4 slides what I believe could be some opportunity for us as an institution, as a society. Very good. Okay, so let's go. The Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture understood that the way forward is not just having one Goshala here, one Goshala there. How much can you reach and what can you do? Today, to this moment, every hour, 34,000 cows are slaughtered. All our efforts in ISKCON from day one, from our first cow, Kalia, to today, where we have around 5,000 cows in our ISKCON project, it's not enough for 10 minutes of the world slaughter every hour. So how much would we reach out in just expanding our Goshalas? So it was very clear that as a ministry, the next step would be to connect to education. So what is more natural than to link to an existing Ministry of Education? So this is a collaborative effort which we are walking towards. And our point today is this, a little enigmatic point. But basically, every society, and we know that, we just had a Varnashram presentation, there's a smaller number of members at the top, which are the thinkers, the intellectuals, people who are actually guiding society. Prabhupada talks about the head of society. There's a smaller number of governors, which rules, and very independent leaders, and then you have a slightly bigger proportion of entrepreneurs who are very active, and finally, there's a great mass of people who love to help. They can assist very nicely, and it's not easy to assist because today everybody wants to be the boss. So once you start a group of volunteers, soon you have 10 bosses telling you what to do. So actually, to have a class of people who are satisfied to assist is a big task because mostly they're seen as people who are lower, and that's not the case. Without the legs, what can you do? So my point today is a short point. Is that in ISKCON, we are more like this, where we are a Brahminical society, and everybody who does not follow that is out. Isn't it? 4 principles, 16 rounds, shaved heads. Now we have a discussion, should we adopt or not, and the big discussion is going around. But mainly, if you don't follow the main system which we have, you're not part of this community. Now, here is where the problem arises, because as a head, not many of us are ready to take simple tasks, like farming. In India, if you go and if you make a quick survey around yourselves, you see, who are the members of India who are ready to go to a farm today? It seems less prestigious. Simply that. So, this point was brought to my attention by Ajita Prabhu in Australia when he tried to put this pyramid in place. And he brought the point that in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada, he was actually living among people who were very, very different from him. The Second Avenue is full of people who are with long hairs, smoking heroin or taking heroin or LSD, whatever you call it. But they're living among Prabhupada. And that way of dealing with them allowed for them to purify. So that's my point today. that we are missing out on a big portion of the society because we don't have any program for them. Yes, I will come this side. Sorry for moving. It's my
We're recording you
yes,
as well.
I know. It's my nature to, you know, Vata nature. It's always going around. So I apologize for that. I'll try to fix and be more earth-grounded. So, Prabhupada was doing that. He was actually living among hippies. And he was okay with that. And gradually, they purified themselves until they found something meaningful to do. Now, when someone approaches you and us, what can they do apart from chanting, going to the Bhagavad Gita class, taking prasadam? Not much. Now, if you see what was done in Australia, all these people who are environmentalists, youth, you know, very free-spirited people, they're very intelligent, dynamic. He created a space called the Krishna Village, and that's an apprenticeship space. They learn how to be trained in yoga, how to be in the gardens, how to be with the cows, how to be so many different services. Therefore, without having the pressure of becoming a Hare Krishna, they experienced apprenticeship. Now, this is a small experiment in Australia. The point I want to bring here is that Prabhupada had in mind something very specific. He says, when he talks about our farm community, he says, okay, I'm going to read this, bear with me. So, our program is to live there, depending on agriculture and cow, which is the connection to the next presenter. He's going to present something along that line. Cow protection, agriculture, that should be the economic solution, and peacefully be in Krishna consciousness. Chant Hare Krishna, that is the Vrindavan scheme. Yuktahara Viharasya Yoga Bhagavati Siddhidaha. The human form of life is not meant for increasing artificial needs. We should be satisfied just to maintain the body and soul together. In balanced time, we should save for enhancing our Krishna consciousness, our spiritual consciousness, so that after this body, we haven't got to take another material body. But we go back home, back to Godhead. That should be the motto of human life. Some of you may think, all right, Prabhu, this is very nice, it's for the farmers, but society today is very different. We are in an urban scenario, we have a whole different scenario. But Prabhupada is pointing out that the motto is going back to Godhead, and the farm is an ideal environment for that apprenticeship. So just you imagine if all of a sudden in all the farms someone is expert in beekeeping, someone is expert in ox training, someone is expert in eco house building, all of these can become educational activities. A person now can hold a practical training, and that practical training actually is advertised on the global forum. So as a simple concept, like the woofers go from farm to farm, all our projects could be training centers. What is the benefit of such a project? Well, the Amish people took this approach. We presented this last year. As a result, all the families have an... And I won't go into the modern education because many of you will tell about the inefficiencies and everything like that. My simple point is, if you start to show this, so many people will be interested to come to these places. And automatically, you have a whole educational curriculum across the globe. As a concept, as a practical evolution of this concept, New Vrajadam in Hungary, many of you may know, was here recently, and they were making a survey. Which practical course would be favored among people? So they had actually 10 courses: beekeeping, agroforestry, ox training, and so and so. And people were saying, I'd like to come to this course. What a brilliant start. What a brilliant start. This year, in collaboration with the Education Ministry, we have started a foundational course on cow protection and agriculture. And that foundational course is to be taught across the institution, where we'll explain what is the importance of that, Why Prabhupada wanted that? What is the future for our children into that? What are the job opportunities that this can afford? And what economical model this can lead to? Because without an economical model, where do you fund everyone? So this course has, the foundational course is being organized, written by His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami. We've just asked Banu Swami to give us a contribution. Achyuta Priya Prabhu from Ukraine is part of that course. I am there. And then we have modules. The first module there is called Goshala Manager's Course. And in that course we have a very good businessman from Australia called Damodar, the former temple president in the Bhaktivedanta Manor. He's helping us. And Padmalochan Prabhu from Singapore about skills, training skills, managerial skills. And finally, for a Goshala Manager's Course, what are the Goshala skills involved? So we got Shamasundra Prabhu from the UK, we got people from New Vrajadam, we got people from, other people from the UK, about 6 people writing what it takes for that. Now once that course is ready, Los Angeles, you know, Suvas Prabhu is one of the most traditional managers, you know, very serious, very, he has a line of, who knows Suvas, you know what I'm talking about. He came to me and said, Prabhu, I'm ready to put a farm if you give me 1 manager. If you give me a Dhruva, I have the money. So he's not alone. Soho Temple, the same thing. We want to put up a farm, give me a manager. So we understood there's a big need for a Goshala manager to be there. We are working on it. Module 2 could be agroforestry. We have here in this room Samba Prabhu, who is an expert in eco building, and so and so and so. So I would like to conclude by saying that there's a great need to generate economy, and apprenticeship courses are fantastic and necessary. And the other slides are basically to support, but we don't need them. I'd like just to introduce the next speaker. He's running a project and he'd like to speak about how he's engaging perhaps agriculture and cows, the cow culture with the Gurukul. Am I right? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
In continuation to His Grace Kalakantha Prabhuji, the urgent need of apprenticeship was noticed. Now if we pre-plan it, it will be better. So we can plan the same urgency with our Gurukul children. So this is what one portion that we can consider these things to include the movement of cows and farm management. Now cow grazing, we have seen one stall also outside. So cow protection and agriculture is the backbone. This is to be understood. And this is actually already understood, is to be implemented. So this survey was done by third party, and it was already founded that lack of employment and inadequate educational alternatives is noticed. That was a third party. And there is a simple solution for it. Prabhupada has given the solution that cow protection and agriculture. This slide is that only, cow protection and agriculture. Many times Prabhupada has told this. Also Chanakya told that the real gems are the grain, water and the subhashan. The grain and water makes actually the cow protection and the agriculture. So we are looking for these things only. So they are very easily available. And so what exactly we are looking for the ISKCON's children, ISKCON devotees children. So what we should not and what to teach and when to teach the secondary. So Prabhupada also told that we are not competitive farming and all. He is always keeping us focused to the farm. That is also the 6th, our purpose of the 7 purposes, and this cumulating and integrating way. So, and ultimately we want our children to be happy. So happiness is given by Prabhupada, that our happiness depends on the animal's happiness. This is very strange formula he has given, because we are in 84 lakhs units, we are the top ones, and we are the elder brother like elder brother, so we have to take care of the younger brothers. And there are many 20 lakhs of Padaps, then 9 lakhs in Jalaj and 11 lakhs Rudra Sankhyana. All those things we have to take care. They are in the land also. And who are actually our children? Prabhupada tells helpless creatures are our children. In this quote, Prabhupada has not mentioned cow. But he has mentioned flies, he has mentioned deer, camel, asses and also he is telling us that we should be very much merciful to these people, these species. So what to talk about the... So also in the Yajna Chakra, Krishna says about that our Karma Yoga begins with by Yajna we get rain and Anna. So this is also coming to the cow and land only actually. And this ignorance can be... Everything in our Varnashram system is the food is food will be provided by the Grahasth Vaishya. And it will be again by the cow production and the agriculture, farming. So where we go from this first equation, if we understand that our ISKCON's growth and development, internal and full this thing is coming to the cow protection and the farming. Second equation which I would like to consider again, that cow protection farming means movement or grazing of the cows. This is, Prabhupada has written this, that for human happiness, same quote I am putting, but I am extending it. One must take care for the animals, especially the cows, for the proper pursuit of human happiness. There must be arrangement for the protection of cows. Then, this means that there must be forests and adequate pasturing ground full of grass and water. Then he is continuing that this is the way of happiness. So agriculture land is there, but there, when he tells about the pasturing ground full of grass and water, it means cow grazing. So generally we consider sometimes very religious sentiment, but Prabhupada says it's not religious sentiment. We are also coming to know in the modern world many researchers are coming. One Alan Savory, we are aware of him. And many other his co-scientists also there. This desertification now, we consider that from this rural culture and the village culture and the city culture. But actually both culture are the part of one same industry culture. We are aware of the global warming. It is the result of the city culture, industrial and all. But desertification is actually village culture, where we are making the land barren. The solution for global warming is to plant the tree. But where will we plant the tree when we are making all the lands barren? And strangely enough, the solution for re-fertilizing these barren land is by cow grazing. And also in Vidurniti, it's a gram kamam cha gopalam. If 6 people are to be rejected, if any person who is if a Gopal is not taking his cow to the forest, he should be rejected. The cowherd boy, he should take the cow. So we have to come out of that culture of keeping cow in one place and utilizing them. So whenever we talk of Vrindavan, it coming for us like this is cow movement. Braj also is movement. Prabhupada tells true education and false education. He is telling that as soon as Krishna and Balram were a little grown up, they were meant for taking care of the cows. Although born of a very well-to-do family, they still had to take care of the cows. This was the system of education. So that is what he is telling you. The boy should take the cow and they should bring the cow back in the evening. That should be a part. So as Prabhuji told that this is urgent need for creating many skill-based things. So we can develop same things from the beginning only. So when we plan before, it is the time for us we can plan. So when we plan, we can develop everything. So this father, mother, these 3 kinds of Dev, Dij, Guru, Pragi, Guru, they are teaching. So father's aim is to, Guru is, Adhyatmic Guru is for the Vigyanmay Kosh and for other things. But for father role is a big role. Parents should teach all these things. So if we do the planned education, we can come to a very comfortable zone, and that is what planned apprenticeship is there. We have a humble attempt. We have just begun in our one of the project in Ahmedabad. So there we are trying to put it that our students have a routine like Mangla to Shayan, we are imparting them, and then 1 hour they are, the boys are doing the cow protection, means cow grazing. They are going with the calves and all. We are at 200 cows and some 25 this calves and all. So little boys are taking care of the calves, and also they are going to the farm also where their parents are working, and they are coming with them while bringing those also. So they are learning from their parents how they are doing. So that is the way they are growing up. So who decides this all? We know everything decided by the parents only, because first 15 years are controlled by the parents. We call it anyway, whichever way we call it, they have to take this call. And who will teach? Prabhupada tells Krishna is the farm acharya, Baldev is holding the plow. We have the teacher, first 5 years mother, as we know, next 10 years father, and followed by guru for the rest of the life. This is the way. Practical example shown by Krishna only, and we all are having this thing. So Golo, Gokul, Govind, all names are for that only. So Srila Prabhupada's mission was to create, when he left the Vrindavan, his mission was to create new Vrindavans everywhere. So new Vrindavan means this is how we can create everywhere new Vrindavans. This is God's gifted profession. It's a dream place. Prabhupada told, this is my dream place where I will get all these things. So this is what our presentation. So this is what I want to submit, that we can focus on cow protection, agriculture, and especially cow grazing. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Giriraja Sakha Prabhu. I'd like you to please stay on the dais, and also Kalakantha Prabhu, could you please join him? We are ready to take some questions for a few minutes, questions or comments from the gathering here. Okay, first a mic needs to go here to Devaki Mataji.
Prabhuji should be alert to give them a mic.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the presentation. I just want to add a comment, because I grew up in the village in South Germany, and I remember everybody was producing something in the village. There's actually no sense to village life if people don't know how to produce something. So every second house was a farmhouse with cows and land, and every other house produced something. Carpenters, this, that, whatever, all these crafts, you know. So I also have this realization in my travels and preaching, unless we go back to this and learn actually how to produce something, we will never get there to village life. And these days one can so easily establish a business over internet. So if people just go back and learn woodworks, how to make altars, vyasasans, they can easily sell this through internet, or all these other crafts, stone cutting and whatever there may be. So yeah, that I wanted to share. Thank you very much.
I'll make a small comment just on what you said. Actually, when I was in Russia recently, there is one specific spiritual master. He's preaching very nicely about that, and his disciples are coming with such nice products. Wheat from traditional varieties and breads, and everything so beautiful that there's no scarcity of market. So once you have the product, the whole dynamic is, nobody's asking about donations, it's just enthusiastic to grow more and more. I think it's a beautiful comment. I think Prana Prabhu has it.
Hare Krishna. Kalakantha Prabhu, thank you both for your presentation. You mentioned that devotees from New Brajadam came here recently and conducted a survey for what would be what are the needs of the devotees in terms of education. Is the course that you're developing, is that based on that survey, or is that survey?
No, the course has been actually the Goshala Manager course, which is basically the module 1. The real course is a foundational course on cow protection agriculture, It's based on a big need that we don't know about that in our society. In Bhakti Shastri, we don't teach. There's no question in the Bhakti Shastri test about cow protection. I just checked with the people who were there. And they said it's a good moment for us to include those questions, because a big question pool is being made right now. So this is the moment. If the farmers think, or the educators about natural living, this is a moment for us to give them. But no, it's not based on that. This questionnaire was spontaneous, and they want to do it. And we're so happy that it's already sprouting in so many places. In Gujarat, in New Vrajadam, in the UK, in London. They have a whole setup for teaching skills at the School of Bhakti that they're making.
Okay, so my point is then that it's really important that we start to develop courses in ISKCON in all the different ministries that will meet the needs of the devotees, and not just what we think are good courses and important courses, but that we make the courses relevant, and I'm sure you're doing that.
Yeah, we're conducting a survey.
And Prabhu, one quick question for Giriraja Prabhu. You mentioned about grains, water, and subhasham. What is subhasham? I missed that.
Subhashan means the Sanskrit verses which are Niti Vakya and Subhashita.
Subhashitams.
Yeah,
Okay.
Subhashita.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We can take one more question from the participants. Any other question? Any comment? Oh,
Okay.
all right. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I brought as a gift, if anyone didn't get it at the booth, this is a manual with all the topics, practical topics we have discussed in our 14 continental conferences. Bamboo work, ox training, soil testing, and it's a very nice directory of the courses. So if anybody would like, I have some here, I'll leave it with Prabhuji. And
You can actually leave it there,
I will.
and then on the way out, devotees can take it, or you can also leave them on the tables, Prabhu,
Okay.
if anybody's interested. And we'll also keep some.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Kalakantha
you.
Prabhu, thank you so much. Giriraja Sakha Prabhu, thank you
Hare Krishna.
for
Thank you very
joining
much.
us and sharing
Gaurav
with us
Anand.
the urgent need for apprenticeship. Giriraja Sakha Prabhu also happens to be a regional representative for Ministry of Education in India, and he is currently helping us in the Western India Divisional Council. Thank you, Giriraja Sakha Prabhu.